Nothing at all. Only the big difference that we score goals. And I just said to the guys, I'm really proud of them. How we played against DC. You know, it's a really good team, and we dominated from the beginning. And of course, you know, they are good in transition, counter-attacking, and we escaped in the first half maybe one or two times. But still, I think we made the game. And we created our chances also in the second half, and we were concentrated, and also, you know, we wanted to really go for the win, and also the substitutes, you know, came in, you know, had a good appearance, and yeah, for me it was really satisfying to see, you know, that everybody, you know, was involved, but especially, you know, the intensity of the game and concentration, and I think there was only one team who deserves to win tonight, and that was Atlanta United.
You mentioned the transition from DC. They had two close ones, and Brad came up really big.
Yeah.
When you see your defense needing to come back in those transition pieces, what are you thinking? Because at the same time, it looks like when that happens to Atlanta, you do think, well, they're attacking a lot as well.
Yeah, but you know, you always, when you're building up from behind, for example, I think that Dalton loses, or maybe one player loses the ball, and we are still, you know, getting in position. And then when you unexpectedly lose the ball, and they are focusing on that, and you know, and with the speed of Ariola, you know, it will always happen one time that you lose your man, and you try to avoid and minimize those mistakes, and we have to understand that you have to be secure. When we do it like 10 yards higher on the pitch, then we still have 7 men behind the ball. But when we, you know, at the halfway line and we lose easy balls, then they are, you know, so focused on getting the ball behind our last line, and that happened 2 times. And you cannot avoid it. We want to avoid it, of course, but you know, this is the game. The game, the sport is a game of who makes the most mistakes, and I think we didn't make that many mistakes today. But it's a very good team, especially in this aspect of the game, DC. So I think we did a great job, and so everybody, you know, with the back three, with Franco, with Leo, and Miles, because those 3, you know, were in good form. Of course, Acosta didn't play that much, but lately, but still, you know, he's one of the best players in the MLS. So I think we did a really good job in defending those 3 guys, and also, you know, attacking wise, we tried to, you know, crosses in on the ground, on the floor, through the air, you know, everywhere, and finally we get what we deserve.
Seemed like as the game wore on, most of your attacks were building up through Miram as opposed to maybe through Gressel. I was wondering if that was something that were they trying to funnel play away from Gressel, or was that by design on your end?
No, I think, you know, when they play that deep, you know, you want to it's very difficult, you know, and compact to play through the middle. So you have to try to get a 1-against-1 on the flanks, and then hopefully, you know, with one individual action, or you know, runs behind, or you know, just runs and making space for other players, and this is what you want to see. And for example, the penalty, you know, was a great run of Emerson Heinemann, and you know, he makes a distraction, and Josef takes it with his chest, and we get a penalty awarded. So this is what I want to see. You know, how many times also Franco came from outside inside to make that run. And Eric took over his position, and then something happens. You know, I was really pleased again with the performance, how we executed, you know, this game.
Can you talk about just what went into your thinking in starting Pity on the bench, and then what he gave you coming in as a sub?
Well, you know, I think this team needed it right now. You know, I didn't have a reason to change Vazquez. He did a great job. I think the first 50 minutes, 60 minutes, he still played really well, and then you saw like 3 times he lost easy the ball, and then you saw he was really tired, and because he made so many unselfish runs, but also, you know, he won so many duels that we could play on. You know, just control and lay it back. And so I was really pleased with his performance. But then you saw again, after 60 minutes, we had to change him because it was then a danger for us. And then also, with Pity, this is the reaction what you want, of course, from somebody who always played. And he was aggressive, he was sharp, and fantastic what he showed today. So it gives him confidence, but it gives everybody confidence. And this is what we want to see from everybody, of course.
So yeah, like you mentioned, it's very similar lineups, 2 consecutive games, even the formation, the 3-5-2, it allows the team to spread out a little bit more, take a little bit more risk as well. Is it something that you would expect to see more of from Atlanta United moving forward, or is it still, like you've always said, considering the opponent?
No, I always consider the opponent. I always have respect for the opponent, but still, you don't also have to have confidence in your own players and your own system. And if everybody is suited well and feels very comfortable with, there is for me at that moment no reason to change. But we can always do it. So still, we have no really a left fullback, and we played with a wing back, Justin. That's a risk, Jules. Of course, he's more used to it. He already played a lot of times in this system. But for him, so I took him apart yesterday, and I said, okay, I'm going to start with you. But you have to know the responsibility of that, and because I think you deserve to start, because he already played really good games, made a difference, and I have no reason to change him. But in the system, maybe I can. And Dion is also a attacking player, but showed also that defensively he does do his job. And you have to run the whole time back and forward. And you saw, he did a great job. And of course we were dominated. And I said also, if we dominate, you don't have to track back that much, But if we don't dominate, then you have to track back. And I think he was doing a really good job. But after 18 minutes, he was really dead. And so Dion replaced him also very well. But I'm happy that he's adjusting, because I know this is what he doesn't like, But I think it's getting him only more as a better player and a complete player. So really good job for him.
Just 2 quick questions. I think when Pity came on, you gave Darlington a piece of paper with some instructions
No,
on it.
because Brandon Vazquez is one of our headers, to have to mark some because he's tall and strong. But if Pity comes in, he cannot take the guy for his set pieces or corners, the guy from Brandon, because he's normally just up front and let the other guys battle for that corner, So it was, on the paper that everybody could, okay, this man has to mark this man, the guy who has to mark, or Brandon who has to mark, maybe, I don't know who took it, but it's not my responsibility, that's Aaron Hyde's responsibility. So you can say he put it in the mind of Gonzalo Martinez, Pity, but probably he doesn't even listen, because he's so concentrated. I know how it goes, and he said yes, but they are just focused, so it's just much easier to give the paper and okay, oh this is for him, okay, then it's easy.
And the last question, how many minutes could Barco have given you tonight? If you
we were planned maybe for 15 minutes, not more. So, but the intensity was quite high, and just take that risk. Here we have now 1 week of good training, so hopefully next week we can enter in the game again.
Pretty big goal.